Let's eat with local products and from right here in the North Peace. This is Energetic Eats, brought to you by the Fort St. John Co-op. You're at home here.
Well, this is sadly Laura's last episode of Energetic Eats.
It's fine.
So I wanted to make sure we went out with a bang for your last episode.
Went out with a brew.
Went out with a brew. So today we're joined by Megan from Mighty Peace Brewing. How's it going this morning, Megan?
Oh, doing well. Happy to be sitting with you guys and trying out a couple beers at 9 a.m.
That's what dreams are made of.
Yeah.
I feel like this was one of the reasons.
A good excuse.
Right?
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons we came up with this, was so that we could do exactly this interview. So
Definitely. Yeah,
true.
so thanks you guys.
you're very welcome.
And I guess just to get started, how did Mighty Peace kind of get started in Fort St. John with the brewing and whatnot?
Right. Yeah, so we have 4 fantastic owners. Dino, Michelle, Scott, and Destiny. They're great friends. And I think it was about 2016, 2007, or it must have been 2016. They thought this town, needed a brewery, and they came together and wanted to start one up. They had traveled around BC and had tried out so many craft beers and gone to so many breweries, and they really wanted to create a community space where people could come and they could create their own craft. And yeah, a few years later they joined forces with our head brewer and made this place happen, and it's been quite a dream come true.
Perfect. And then how did you kind of get started with Mighty Peace? What got you into it?
Yeah, I've been loving craft beer since I was 19.
Good answer.
So, yeah. One of the first craft breweries I ever went to was in Kamloops, and it was just this really cool spot that people came and they played games and they just were drinking these kind of brews that I'd never heard of before, and I wasn't really a beer drinker, and I didn't really think that I liked beer. But then I sat down and I tried sour beers and all these other types of beers, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that beer could really taste this way. So I knew that a craft brewery is something that I wanted to be involved with. So when I originally moved up to Fort St. John, I started working at the brewery just as serving, and then opportunity came up with sales and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing now, and I absolutely love it.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah, been a journey. It's great to be a part of.
Now, one of the things I like most about Mighty Peace that I'll admit I found surprising when I moved to Fort St. John, A, that there were craft breweries here, and B, that you guys have such a wide array of different brews that you have always kind of happening, and then kind of seasonal ones that come out once in a while, or even kind of only once, and that sort of thing. I have to ask in general, though, how long does it take to go from maybe you or the owners have an idea, or the brewmaster have an idea for a beer, say, this is what we're going to make, to when you're holding it in your hand and able to drink it? Generally, how long does that take?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a great question. It takes a lot of phases and steps. Like, our brewmaster will think of a type of beer, and then how do we source those ingredients? What can we do locally? Is there berries we can add locally? Things like this. So it really, that idea phase is pretty long. And then as soon as we source everything, come out with a funny name and a label for it, we get it going in the tank. And that can take anywhere up for, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, up to 2 to 3 months, depending on what type of beer it is, or if we want berries to kind of be in a tea bag sitting in a fermenter for months, just so it can get those colors and flavors. So it really depends. Okay. But yeah, at least 20, 21 days.
Okay. Now, you mentioned sourcing kind of ingredients. You guys really make an effort to source stuff locally, don't you, for their beers?
Yeah, we definitely do. Yeah, like Sonia from Ron Acres Farms has supplied us with a lot of our Has caps and blackberries. And then we have McKay Farms that, they help a lot with our menu, and then tons of honey for our beers. We've used them. And then there's even a farm, a Has cap berry farm that we've used out in Grand Prairie. A lot of like some of our grains we try and get as local as possible within the province and within Canada, but try to stay within the province as much as we can, for sure.
Wonderful. All right, well, I'm really thirsty now.
I'm always thirsty.
Yeah,
talking about this. So we're gonna sample a couple beers here. The first one is a newer one for you, I think. You were saying it's Laura's holding it up there. Let's see. I'll zoom in on Laura for a second. It's a Hefeweizen. Can you tell us a bit about this beer, Megan?
Yeah. So this is the first one in our small batch series where we like to experiment. We want to try a whole bunch of different beers and give people the experience, that craft brewery experience of trying out a whole bunch of different types of styles. So the Hefeweizen was the first one of the batch, and a Hefeweizen's cool because it typically comes out fall time. And it's, as we head into fall, we're really thinking about baking spices and cloves and breads, and the yeast is a really important component to the Hefeweizen because it really adds those spicy components like clove. And it also has hints like the aroma and like a little bit of the taste. You can taste like a bit of banana bread, which is really cool as we head into these coolish kind of months. It's nice to have a beer with those kind of fall and winter type spices and aromas. It's kind of nostalgic.
Absolutely. I know Hefeweizen is one of my favorite types of beer out there, so I'm very excited to try this one. Thank you very much. Let's see. I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Very easy drinking.
Oh, it smells great.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, dibs on this one.
And you were bang. I mean, the banana was the first thing. As soon as I put it up to my nose, I was like, oh, wow, banana bread.
And it's like, is banana bread something you'd want in beer? But after you try it, it's absolutely a yes. It's like that baked good quality that you get from the yeast, right? Like yeast is a big component in beer. It's a big component in bread. So like it just commingles so well.
Oh, that's outstanding.
It's like a dessert. It's like a meal.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so pleased right now. Sorry, Megan. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. It's one of my favorite. I experience the same thing every time.
All right, and then the other one we're going to have time to try this morning, it's kind of a mainstay. It's been out for a while, Village Idiot. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Oh, yeah. Yes, our Village Idiot ISA. This one's a good mix. It's a session ale. So it's really big on flavor, but it's not like for people who are not as into hops. I find like it's a really good in between. So if you have your lager or blonde ale Peace Gold drinkers, and then you have our IPA drinkers, but then there's some people who fall in between or just kind of want that middle ground. And I think that the ISA is really nice because the hop profile usually makes it really nice and fruity, and it's just so easy drinking. And so it's a big Fort St. John or Peace Region favorite. I can tell you that it's a tasty one, and the haziness gives it a really good mouthfeel as well.
Also outstanding.
Ooh, I love today.
Yeah.
And very different from the Hefeweizen. So that's this is so good.
It's a good day.
Yeah,
I'm going to enjoy work today. And then I guess,
and it's fun to say Village Idiot all the time.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
And then if people want to purchase any of the beer, how do they go about that?
Right. Yeah. Fortunately, we live in such a supportive community that you can find us at every single liquor store in town, Dawson Creek, Chetwynd, Hudson's Hope, and even a lot down to Prince George Williams Lake, or up to Fort Nelson. So we're at a lot of places, which is really, really nice. But even restaurants around town carry some of our kegs. So be on the lookout. We're a little bit of everywhere.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Do you know offhand how many different types of beer do you have kind of on sale right now?
Oh man. Well, I mean, we have our 5 main core beers, and then like we've got, so our seasonals and our small batches are some of, like, I love our core beers, like they're our core beers for a reason. But then we have our seasonal beer where we get to try new things. And right now we have like our Hefeweizen, but then later this week, maybe early next week, we have one of our first kettle sours coming out, which we made with tons and tons of pureed blackberries and blueberries, because summertime isn't the only time we should be getting our antioxidants, in my opinion.
I like it.
It's so tasty. We've been taking samples all along, and I'm very excited for it to come out. I think it's going to be a hit. So the seasonals they're so much fun because it's something new to try, and they don't always last long, and people, they get mad when we run out, but we're always moving on to the next thing, and it's fun to introduce people to new things and get them excited and get them coming in and trying and experiencing and getting the community out and together and hanging out with each other.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you can find Mighty Peace Brewing beers at your local liquor store. If you want more information about them, check them out at mightypeacebrewing.ca. You can also give them a call at the brewery itself. If I can open up the number here, it's at 250-785-5535. An easy stocking stuffer for somebody would be a nice can of Mighty Peace.
Just have the whole stocking,
Yes.
a
Right.
6-pack.
You could do that too. All right, Megan.
Yeah,
Well,
and you can make a mixed pack. Yep.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us to do this today, Megan. We really appreciate you taking the time for this.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
You're very welcome. That's Megan with Mighty Peace Brewing. Energetic Eats is brought to you by the Fort St. John Co-op.
Cheers.
Moose FM and Sound in Town are partnering up once again